So, good morning everyone. This is the tutorial for the Batulus Elementary School Performance Monitoring System. But first, let us discuss what are the applications needed in order to access the system. First, you need a SAM controller. Here, SAM control panel, and the Navicat SQL for the database. Now, here's how it works. Access the SAM control panel, click on Start in Apache and MySQL. Wait until the ports are activated, because the SAM panel will serve as a connector from the system, especially the storage of the data to the database. It serves as a connector. Now, after activating the ports, click on X. Then you will access the file from the SAMP htdocs folder, which is here, the FTP system 2, which is the folder that contains our system. So next is access it on a search engine. Type localhost then 8080 slash fpt version for system 2. Here, then click this one and click X. So here is the interface of the Batulus Elementary School Performance Monitoring System, or the login page. As you can see, there are two text fields, which is the text fields for the username and the admin. So first, we're gonna access the user. So let us type the username in the username text field and the password. So a message will pop up saying that the user is confirmed if the credentials you've entered is correct. So here is now the system, the records rather. So in this process, if the student is an old student, like this tree here, once they're going to enroll, there's no need for them to fill up again another enrollment form, because the record is already existed. All they need to do is to update. But what if the student is a new student? So the encoder, or the records in charge, who is in charge for the student's admission, will be the one who's gonna encode the student information here in the system. So how to encode the student's information if there will be a new student? Click student records, then click registration here. So first, click on the text field for the learner's reference number. Now here's another explanation there. There are occasions that the learner's reference number of the student can say delayed, especially if the student is from the private school. So probably it takes 3 days for the Department of Education to assign a learner's reference number to that particular student. But here in the system, we created a create temporary LRN, which the system will generate a temporary LRN just for the sake to continue the process of enrollment. So click on create temporary LRN here. So here is the temporary LRN, but don't worry about that because later it can be revised. So now proceed on filling the enrollment form. Encode the name of the student. So for example, Rosales. B.E.S. B.E.S here, I have a record of a particular student here. My side. So I'm gonna encode his name. Sex. Then so it's not too long first, but once the student's record is already encoded here, and the next enrollment it should be easier now. Bayugans. Farmer. So this parent has a guardian. So after the encoding of the records is done, click on Proceed Registration. So a message will pop up saying that information successfully saved, message sent. So the message sent here tells us that the system has a SMS notification wherein it will send a message to the contact number of the student or the contact number of the student's parent, which we encode earlier. So it will send a notification, an SMS notification saying that the student here now the student record is already encoded successfully. So after that, click on OK. So the system will show a preview. Now, if the student has a brother or sister enrolled in the same school or will enroll in the said school, the Batulusa, their names can be also added here at the bottom, because for this, the purpose of this is to prevent the redundancy of encoding, prevent the redundancy of encoding the records. So we can add the name of the brother and sister here of the said student, and there's no need for them also to repeat the process of encoding the address, place of birth, because it is already added here. But if there is no other to say sister or brother of the student, you can click on skip this process. So here, after that, click on enrollment process. So set the academic year, then the school where the student came from, or his previous school. Say so. Click on the grading section and click on the entrance date. So it will be June 13, 2017. So after that, click on the requirements submitted, because the Vatulusa will not allow the student if first he did not take any brigada activities, which is if after you accomplish the brigada activity you will receive a brigada certificate, then the birth certificate, photocopy, then the 4-monthly aid of the student. So those records are present. So we're gonna check this one. And now the student is successfully enrolled and his information is automatically saved now. So as we see in the dashboard here is Edmund John Rosales enrolled. Now let's proceed about the promotion or the update of the grade of a student, especially if the student is a old student. So click on promotion, student records, then promotion or master list. So after clicking here, set the academic year and the grade of section. Say for example, I'm gonna update the record of the list of grade 2 Maunawain student in the academic year of 2017 to 2018. So click on search records. So we have one record here. So all you need to do is to click this one. Then the system will automatically set the next school year and the grade and section. So the student is grade 2, so once he enrolled he will be grade 3, and now it is set in the grade 3. Then click on promote selected. So all records have been successfully promoted. In the dashboard, okay. So let us see if that student was promoted in grade 3. Here, it was now promoted in the 3rd grade. So to make it specifically or specific, so let's type the name of the student here in the search. So here, now let's gonna discuss about the functionalities of the system. What are the purposes, or what are the purpose of these buttons? Say for example, we're gonna search a student for a particular student. For example, this one, for example, Mr. Castaneda. And the red button is for the profile information, viewing the profile information. Then another button here is the PTA records, wherein you're gonna input the payment For example, the amount of the voice cut registration, the amount of the amount for school maintenance. After they successfully input the amounts here, click on submit payment, and the payment will automatically listed on the records payment history like this. So another functions in the system is this yellow button, which is for, aside for this profile viewing, it is also the progress and development, wherein you can encode the grades of the student for the form 137. So how to encode the grades? Click on encode grades, then input the grade here. And for example, mathematics 89, 89, 89, 89, 89. Okay, let's make this all 89 in one grade. So the system automatically generate or compute the grades and the general average. Then let's mark it as a 4th grading period and click on encode progress. So the information of the encodement successfully saved. Next is the green button, wherein you can see now the encoded grade of the student here. So this is the form 137. As we've done earlier, we only encoded the 4th grading period with all grades of 89, so it's right here now. It's encoded, and it's here also the final rating is also computed, and the general average in totality. So that is one of the features of our system. Now let's discuss about the attendance, which is one of the system's main feature. Now the purpose of the attendance is to notify the parent through SMS notification that their student is absent. So, and one also of the advantages of this is it helps the parents to monitor if the student is, or if their student is committing cutting classes or not. So first, click on attendance. Then, for example, we're about to search for the records of grade 2 mabait. Search records. Now, let's say for example this particular student, RJ Lampagos Salas, is absent in this day. So it is recorded here that the total number of school days and the number of absences and the days of present. So we say if in this date Mr. Rosales is absent, click on the checkbox here, then click as set as absent. So, and then a message will pop up that, or notify that the SMS notification has been sent to the number or the contact number of Mr. Rosales' parent. Click OK. So now the absences are counted into 2. So this is how the attendance in the system works. So now we're about to access the admin account next. So all we do is to sign out the user's account. So click on sign out, and here we're about to access the admin account next. Now let's access now the admin page of the system by typing the username for the administrator and the password, and click access account. Then so this is the admin's dashboard. As you see, the only difference here is admin has manage button wherein the admin only can add the subjects or delete the subjects, grade and sections, and statistics and data backup. But these functions will be explained later. But first, we'll just discuss the other functions, especially here in the button section of the administrator. As you can see, these three buttons are familiar because it is already in the user account. But the only difference here is this blue button, which is for the update or edit of the student info. Let us say, for example, as I said earlier, the system can create a temporary LRN or learner's resource number if the student's LRN has not yet released. So now if the student's LRN is finally released and we're about to change it, just click on enter the permanent LRN, and this is the example. For example, 2374489. This is, for example, this will be the student's permanent LRN. Click save changes. So here now the LRN has been changed into its permanent LRN, and you gotta say if there's an error in the name, you can click on proceed update to edit the errors in the system. This, for example, what's this? And click on save changes. So the LRN has been changed and the school has updated to Magsaysay Elementary School. Now let us verify if the record is updated also, the dashboard. So let's click here. Where is it? So this here. So the student's record is updated now, and that's it. Now the student also, same as the user, can also encode grades of the student, because for the reason that if the volume of the enrollees cannot be accommodated by the least number of users, then the admin also can help in encoding the student records. So that's it. Now let's proceed to the grade and section management. First, click the manage button, then click grade and sections. Here you can add, delete, or update a section. But first, let's discuss about adding grade and section. So click add grade and section, then type the section name, then choose the grade level, then choose subjects for that grade. The subjects chosen will also reflect on the Form 137, which we discuss later. So click Register Grade and Section. Click OK. Then the section added is now updated on the system. So if you wish to delete a section, click the red button and the section will be deleted. Now let's discuss about the add of user in the system. So click Manage, then click Users, type the name of the user or the user information here. The system will automatically generate a default username. Then click the password text field so that you can input your password. Then click the user type. If the user is personnel, then he cannot access some features in the system. But this section in adding the username is only for the system administrator. Then click the green button. Count this, insert. Now if the username or if the user decided to change his username or password, click the blue button here beside of his credentials. Then he will be allowed to edit. Then click the green button. Account has been updated. So as you can see, the username has been updated. Next, if you wish to delete a user, then click the red button. Then click OK. And the user has been deleted. So let's proceed on the creating a statistical report. Click Manage. Then Statistics. Then a statistic report will show how many girls and how many boys enrolled in this school year. If you wish to have a hard copy, click the icon here. If you wish to download it as a JPEG image, click Download JPEG Image. Just wait for a while. Then click OK. And it is automatically saved as a JPEG image. Now let's discuss about creating backup for the records. First, click the Manage button. Then click the Data Backup button on the submenu. Then a message will pop up saying that database backup is successfully created. Then click OK. Then again click the OK button, and the database is now finally downloaded here as a backup. So the purpose of the backup is to have a copy if the system might corrupted or to retrieve some lost data records. So this is the admin page, and we're about to sign out the admin page to end the tutorial. So click on the sign out. Then it's done. That's all.